Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Kayfabe Corner. Today we're going to be reviewing the results for Raw, February 13th, 2023, the pre-Valentine's Day show. It's actually a very good show last night. Moved pretty quick. It was over before I realized what time it was. And then I was tired and really wanted to get some sleep. So here I am today. Let's jump right in. So it starts off just like most of the shows. It's the one thing I'm so kind of sick of. It's kind of, not kind of, it's very repetitive. They open with talking segment. Every time you think they might jump out of it, thinking, maybe they'll have a match first. No, they just don't. This wasn't too bad, though. It was a little, it drug on a bit, a little boring, but it did set up a good portion of the night, so not too bad. Becky Lynch, well, she wants in. She wants to be part of the Elimination Chamber. Unfortunately, all the slots are filled. So here comes Bayley. She wants in too. So, of course, they're both yelling at yelling at Adam, and you know as well as I do, he takes that real well. And here comes Bianca, and she says, "Look, I got a solution. Real simple. I want to fight tonight too, so let's do this. Triple threat. Becky, Bayley, if one of you win, you're added into the chamber. And it'll start as a triple threat. If I win, you two got to figure out what you're doing on your own." Not a bad idea. I actually like the idea. It's pretty good, and you're getting three of the best women they have in the same match at the end of the night. Love that. I'll take that all day. All right, so we finally get an end to that segment and move right into Finn Balor and Damian Priest, part of Judgment Day against the Street Profits. I can't be the only one that loves the Street Profits. These guys are incredible. Angela Dawkins has a lot of charisma and not even close to as much as his partner. It's amazing that they have, yet to split up. I guess since Vince isn't in charge of the booking anymore, they're not splitting up for a little bit because he would have split them up by now. He has to see money. One of them has to see dollar signs at this point with those two. They're incredible. Triple H knows he's got two future stars, but they have so many single stars at this point. Splitting them up would only hurt both of them because they wouldn't be able to jump right into a major championship at the time. But good matchup. Of course, you're going to have interference from Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor hits the coup de grace, and down go Street Profits. Afterwards, Damian Priest, he boots one of them in the head. You get Edge's music. Edge and Beth Phoenix come out, which I enjoy seeing because, they have to do the setup for this. Unfortunately for Beth, Mommy was waiting in the wings. So Beth Phoenix is about to hit her finisher, just like last week. Here comes Rhea Ripley in, hits her from behind, hits her with the riptide. That's the end of it. So this should be a good match. I'm not a fan of seeing mixed tag matches because getting a rhythm established with a mixed tag match is tough. Because once one tag's in, the opposite comes in. It's not conducive to having a real, set match type. There are times that it really gets held up because of that stipulation. So hopefully, they can get a nice pace going, and when one tags in, maybe they'll have something happening on the outside, which I think would help a lot. But that's where that goes, and we'll see what happens when the pay-per-view hits. Next was the Elimination Chamber contract signing. I'm glad they didn't save this to the end because contract signings, you already know what's going to happen. You're not going to get a good contract signing. You're going to get a fight. This was kind of interesting, though. Brock comes out to the ring. Adam Pearce already has the table set up. I'm thinking this is going to be a normal back and forth. And I already knew, Brock got the upper hand last week. It's got to be Bobby Lashley this week. So I'm already wondering, how they're going to make this hopefully not boring. Well, here comes the security guards, and the first thing I'm thinking is how many of these is Brock going to beat up? Then they have the table set up out there that I didn't notice at first. Bobby Lashley comes out and sits at that table. It's like, I like that. You're giving him some agency over his character. You're not letting him be dictated to. Finally, he makes such a better heel. He's very good as that cocky brash heel, but his mic skills are still not there. It's like he stumbles over words, and he's not quite as sure of himself when he's on the mic. He really does need a mouthpiece. I really want to see him get back with MVP and reform the Hurt business because they really need that, especially Bobby Lashley. He needs that. But it was pretty good. Bobby Lashley puts Brock Lesnar down, signs the contract, and, well, we're off to the races. That should be a good match, though. These two have a lot of talent. I think they'll put something good together for the third match. And we get a nice little match with Piper Niven. I guess they're going to start pushing her and getting her to the point where she's the monster heel of the group. Piper Niven defeats Michin. I almost said Mia Yim again. It was a good, back and forth match. Nothing crazy, but it was a nice match. I think they gave him like 8 minutes. Maybe it was a little less than that. I have a hard time keeping track. Usually, about this time, I'm starting to get my girls ready for bed. So, but it was a fun match to watch. I'm happy that Piper Niven is starting to get some work, and hopefully she'll get some consistent wins, and they'll build her up to be the next big heel. Hopefully to have a title. I would like to see her win a championship. Now, the next segment is one I really wanted to talk about. I absolutely love what they've done with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has more talent than anybody realized he had. I knew he was talented, and I didn't realize he was this talented. He is excellent, and he is playing this role to perfection. And he calls out for Cody Rhodes. All he wants to do is talk, which I love, because we had the interaction with Cody and Paul Heyman last week. I think that kind of got mixed reviews last week, especially the shot to Cody Rhodes about his father, saying Roman Reigns is the son he wished he had. So seeing these two together at this point in time makes me very happy, because there was a point in time I thought Sammy was going to get cut. I thought Cody was going to stay in AEW forever. Cody is a different person since he's been back. He is more passionate. He's more driven. I love seeing that he's in this spot. He's not playing a character. It's just him. He's just got a nickname. And I love that about him. Sami Zayn, he plays that, upstart, smaller guy really well. And this promo, I don't want to buy it, because I don't want to be disappointed. But I'm telling you, I'm starting to think Sami Zayn can win that match. And I don't want to believe it, because I'm going to be disappointed. I know it. Roman's going to beat him, but I think Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes would be a better main event. I'm probably wrong about that. That's probably, I don't want to say it's an unpopular opinion. There are a lot of people that would rather see that, because I think Roman has overstayed his welcome. But I would prefer to see Sammy win, maybe even with some help from Jey Uso. That'd be awesome. And have it be Cody and Sammy to close out WrestleMania. And who knows, maybe Triple H is seeing the way the tide is turning, and he's going to steer the ship into it. That would be great. But we'll have to see. But this promo was so passionate from both guys, especially Cody, but from both guys, and I could watch this all day. I've watched this back, I think, 4 times at this point. I want to see Sammy finish his story at this point. They convinced me. I definitely want to see Sammy win. So here's hoping, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much, because I don't want to have them crushed when I watch the pay-per-view. Next was it was a nice, interesting segment in the back. Baron Corbin, he was insulted when the interviewer cut to Sami Zayn. He comes back and he says, I don't even like Cody Rhodes. I think he's terrible. I think his father's terrible. And Cody's standing right behind him. And I love that. That's the maniac in horror movies creeping up on the good guys, and they don't see him. I love it. And he beats the crap out of him on the way to the ring. He yells to somebody to get a ref, and they have a quick impromptu match, which I like organic stuff like that. That's really neat how they work in, a real life thing. He didn't just grab him and say, "I'll see you next week." He went after him, because, let's face it, you insult somebody's parents, especially someone who's had as much of an effect on the business as Dusty Rhodes did, you're probably going to eat some hands. That's just the way it goes. But this was, it was a quick little match. It was definitely a squash match. I think they're pushing Baron Corbin down to build him up again. And I really hope that's where that goes because I said last week, I really do like Baron Corbin and I believe he has a hot future. They just need to push him correctly. He needs to be the silent killer type. Only a little bit of talking, maybe even only as much as Goldberg. You get a couple words out of him here and there, but I think that's what he needs. He doesn't need to play these characters. I don't think it's very good, but Cody hits Crossroads for the win. 1, 2, 3, and Cody gets a little work in before the pay per view, which is good. Nice to knock some of that ring rust off because he's still coming back. Next, you got 3-on-3, which good idea, putting all the women that are going to be in the Elimination Chamber together. On opposite sides, you got the 3 from Raw, Asuka, Carmella, and Nikki Cross against the 3 from SmackDown. I gotta say, I still don't like Carmella in this. I really wish it hadn't been Carmella, but I guess that's just nitpicking at this point. Asuka gets the win, which I think propels her to the front of the line. People have to think she's number one right now. She's probably going to win the Chamber, and I think that would set up a hell of a match with her and Bianca because Asuka always performs well, and Bianca Belair is a damn good performer. So, but it was uh, a nice little turn inside of there. You got to see a lot of back and forth with everybody involved, which is good. But hey, look, it's real simple. Asuka puts the Asuka lock on you, you're done. That's just how it's been since she came in. So I did love seeing that. I hope nobody gets hurt in that elimination chamber. I have to say this because I think it every year when I see this pay per view, and the ring doesn't move as well because everything's shored up with all the steel, and all that metal doesn't move at all. So that hurts. I hope they're all okay. I really do. I don't want to see anybody get hurt in this match. But Asuka and the other 2 women from Raw win over to SmackDown women and should set up a good dynamic for the Chamber this week. Next, you get Bronson Reed, who I'm really happy to see back, defeats Mustafa Ali. I think he wins the Chamber. I really do. Maybe it's the fanboy in me, but I really think Bronson Reed is. I think they're getting his momentum going the right way so that he wins. It's not for the Universal title or the Undisputed. It's not. So him having a secondary title, I think that's a possibility. It's a real possibility now. I would love to see him with it. I like Austin Theory. I just don't love him. That's stupid, but I would like to see Bronson Reed win. Nice match. Ali had a couple comebacks, but let's be honest. You get splashed by a guy Bronson Reed size off the top rope. You're not getting up. And I love that he has no hesitation. He doesn't get up there and pause. He gets up there, climb, climb, climb. He's already gone. I love that. And he looks good doing it. But 1, 2, 3, Bronson Reed, your winner. And we're going to move on to Seth freaking Rollins on Miz TV. Come on, man. The drip god. How can you not love the guy? Those boots were absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure what the idea. I'm not sure if they're boots from the fashion world and he's wearing them as a gag. I'm not sure if they were just designed, backstage and he thought it was hilarious and he could make it work. But them boots, they were insane. And I usually that goofy stuff makes me shake my head a little bit. I love them. I absolutely love them. He should look like an absolute clown, and all I can think is he looks awesome. But of course, surprise to nobody, Miz starts a fight. Miz is getting beat up, but Austin Theory comes in. He pays back Seth from last week when Seth hit him with the stomp on the outside, which was kind of hilarious, but he hits him with his finisher. And, not surprising that you had a giant fight, but lost in all this, The Miz had a match right after Miz TV. He had to get up after getting stomped to face Rick Boogs. I think this guy's in line for a huge push. They seem to love him. So he comes out there and, Miz being the chicken crap heel he is. I'm not fighting, not doing this, not doing that. Sorry, pal. Rick Boogs ain't letting that happen. Here he comes. It's a quick match, but it gives Miz the out. He was beat up earlier. Rick Boogs is starting to pick up some wins and starting to pick up some steam. I think you might see a match with him and Elias at WrestleMania, some kind of stipulation match. Maybe even a match with musical instruments on the side of the match to use because they're picking up uh, they're picking up the animosity in the back, and I love how Rick Boogs is just like playing it off like he doesn't get it and he doesn't see it, and Elias is getting frustrated. I think they're going to end up having a match probably at WrestleMania because they have 2 full nights to fill. They have to figure out something to do for everybody. So Rick Boogs gets a win here, which great because he's beating a guy that's been around for a long time, is definitely higher on the card than him. So happy for Rick Boogs. They're actually pushing him to a spot where I think he should be. Now we come to you know the finish of the night. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. I didn't see this win coming. I honestly thought they were going to put either Bayley or Becky Lynch in. I wasn't sure which one. I really thought it would be Becky Lynch or Bayley winning this match, and it just did not happen. So you had Becky hitting the manhandle slam on Bayley while Bayley's on the ground. Bianca catches Becky with the KOD right on top of Bayley, and right there, I thought they were just going to have Becky lay on Bayley because she had already knocked her down, and get the accidental win. But Becky rolls off. Bianca pins Bayley for the win. Lost in all this, I know what I'm explaining. Lost in all that was the interference, from the rest of Damage Control, but it really made no difference. And Belair gets the win, and you have Bayley and Becky looking dejected and wondering where their path to WrestleMania is going to go because right now they have nothing to do. I'm sure they'll figure something out. It'll probably end up being a one-on-one match, or maybe they'll pair them up to have them go for the NXT tag titles and do something with NXT. We'll see, but it doesn't. They're not going to leave two of the biggest names on the women's roster out of WrestleMania. There's no way they're going to do that. You know, I do enjoy what's been going on with Monday Night Raw lately. They've been doing a very good job. They're picking up steam. The women are starting to get more segments too. They need to add a secondary women's title. They need an Intercontinental Championship for the women. They have too many talented women to not have the second title. But at some point, they'll probably figure that out. I hope that they continue with this booking because it's been very good. Triple H, he's lights out. It's awesome. But I don't want to see them get bogged down in, going with something simply to go for it because it's shocking. Vince used to do that kind of stuff, and it sucked. So I like that they're leading towards certain things, and I truly hope that Sami Zayn wins because I would love to see him and Cody in the main spot. I honestly think that would be incredible. But that's neither here nor there. I will be back later on this week with a review with an Elimination Chamber preview and some predictions. So I hope you guys have a great week, and until I see you again, may all your endeavors be blessed, and may everything work out ever in your favor. I love you guys. You be good. Later.